Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Have you ever tried to figure out natural mood support? It can feel like you're lost in a jungle, right? There are so many wild claims and a ton of marketing hype. Well, today, we're going to take out the mache and cut right through all of that noise. We're going to build a clear, science-backed plan that you can actually understand and use. You know that feeling. You're standing in the store staring at a giant wall of bottles, and you're just completely frozen by all the choices. If that's you, trust me, you are not alone. It can feel totally impossible to know where to even begin. So, here's our mission for today. We're going to turn that feeling of confusion into a feeling of confidence. We're going to build a solid framework so you can make smart decisions based on what the science actually says, not just what some flashy label is trying to sell you.
But first things first, before we can even begin to talk about solutions, we have to understand the problem, right? That means starting with the why. We've got to dive into the basic science of how our brains handle mood. Honestly, this is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
All right, let's meet the key players, starting with the famous one, serotonin. The easiest way to think about this is as your brain's stability molecule. It's a huge factor in that general sense of well-being and contentment, and it also helps keep things like your sleep and appetite on track.
Next up, we've got dopamine. This is your go-getter chemical. It's all about motivation and reward. Dopamine is what gives you that feeling of drive when you're chasing a goal and that amazing sense of accomplishment and focus when you finally nail it.
And then there's GABA. So if your brain has an accelerator pedal, think of GABA as the brake. Its main job is to just calm things down. It tells the nervous system to ease up, reducing that revved up, anxious feeling and helping you relax.
And rounding out our core four, we have norepinephrine. This is all about energy and engagement. It's what sharpens your focus, kicks up your alertness, and basically gets you feeling energized and ready to take on the day.
Okay, so now that we know who the main characters are in our brain chemistry, we can finally start to make sense of that huge, confusing world of supplements. We're going to use a pretty simple tiered system here, basically organizing everything by how strong the science is behind it.
This right here is our roadmap. It simplifies everything beautifully. See how we've sorted supplements into four main lanes? You've got your foundational nutrients, a group called adaptogens, things that directly support neurotransmitters, and stuff that works on that fascinating gut-brain connection. This chart is our guide. And this chart really brings that idea to life. See that big bar for foundational? The evidence there is really strong. Often because if you're deficient in something like magnesium, it's going to directly impact your mood. Then you have adaptogens, where the evidence is pretty good, and then other, where the science is still kind of new. And that right there is why starting with a solid foundation is so important.
Okay, let's make this personal. It's one thing to know the categories, but the real power comes when you can tailor your approach to how you're actually feeling.
So let's look at a couple of common scenarios. If you're wrestling with low energy and that classic feeling of burnout, then a stack that focuses on those foundational nutrients and adaptogens makes a ton of sense. But if you're dealing more with irritability and anxiety, you'd look at a completely different toolkit. Things like L-theanine and magnesium, which are much more targeted for calming things down.
Now here's a crucial reality check. You have to be patient. This stuff isn't an overnight fix. If you're trying to correct a nutritional deficiency, it could take a month, maybe even 3, to really feel a difference. Some other things like adaptogens might kick in a bit faster, maybe within a few weeks, but setting realistic expectations is absolutely key.
So with all that said, there is one more piece of the puzzle we have to cover, and it might just be the most important part of this entire discussion. Let's talk about safety, because using these tools responsibly is completely non-negotiable.
I cannot say this loudly enough. Some supplements, particularly things like St. John's wort and 5-HTP, directly mess with your serotonin levels. That means they can have dangerous, even life-threatening interactions with prescription drugs like antidepressants. You must talk to a doctor or a pharmacist first. So here it is, your core safety checklist. It's simple. Number 1, check for interactions with any medication you're on. 2, don't mix and match products that have the same active ingredients. 3, whenever you can, pick the specific forms and doses that have actually been used in studies. And 4, listen to your body. Pay attention to how you feel, and if something feels off, stop. Okay, you're armed with the science and the safety rules. So let's talk about how to be a smart shopper. How do you actually look at a product and figure out if it's high quality or just junk?
Here are 5 big things to look for. 1. Total transparency. Avoid anything that hides ingredients behind a proprietary blend. 2. Look for the correct form of a nutrient, like magnesium glycinate, which your body can actually absorb. 3. Look for seals from third-party testers. 4. If you're buying probiotics, make sure they list the specific strains. And 5. Just trust your gut. If a brand is making claims that sound too good to be true, they are.
You know, when it's all said and done, it comes down to this. Supplements are called supplements for a reason. They are not a replacement for the real foundations of a healthy life. Things like getting good sleep, moving your body, and managing stress. They're meant to support that foundation, not build it from scratch.
So, as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have this clear, evidence-based roadmap, what's your first, most logical step? Is it just making sleep a priority? Is it talking to your doctor about getting some nutrient levels tested? The whole idea is to start with one solid foundation.
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.